What's poppin', everyone? Got some Draft League content for y'all today, and we're on a 4-game win streak, which feels pretty nice. I'm curious though, which Pokemon on my team has been your favorite so far in the season? I'd like to know. And I didn't really have much time this week to prep, but I feel okay enough with the team that I made. So the opponent this week is Matt. He has a Dragapult, and that was the first Pokemon that got drafted in the season. Could be Terra Ghost or Terra Fire. Very strong Pokemon. But if you take a look at the team, it looks very Sword and Shield styled of a draft. Like, besides Garganacci, of course. Only Pokemon from this generation on his team, I believe, and everything else is stuff we've seen before. So I'm not too sure if there'll be any new tricks that he could bring, but we have our work cut out for us because Dragapult's just in general a really great mon. Azumarill, I think 100% has to make an appearance because we have Walking Wake. So that Azu needs to be AV and bulky. It has to, in order for it to take hits, especially with the Walking Wake set that we brought. It's very, very threatening. So I don't know if he'll bring Corviknight or not because I have Magnezone, but if he does, it could have Shed Shell, or it could just be faster. Corviknight, I think, is faster than Magnezone, or it could be made to be faster, so that mon is an option. Rotom Heat, I think, will make an appearance because that mon is really good on Sun. With Overheat getting boosted, that mon can cook. That is a oven, if I've ever seen one. So yeah, Crocodile, Garganacci, I think are really good mons too, with the ground type and the rock type. The Salt Cure is super annoying, and I think that a lot of these mons are just really good in general, but I don't know, a lot of these older mons, I feel like a lot of the newer stuff can take advantage of it pretty well, and also it's just less of a surprise factor, I guess, because I've seen what these mons can do in draft before, and I guess aside from Garganacci, I've never faced a Garganacci in draft, but I've faced a lot of these other stuff before. So yeah, it'll be I guess a challenge to kind of catch me off guard with some of this stuff, but I'm sure there's some heat sets that he could probably pull off and try to bring versus myself. But speaking of heat sets, take a look at what I got here. Look at this. See the Slither Wing, right? Do you notice anything about this Slither Wing that might catch your eye? If you said the 10 IVs in attack, you are correct. Now, 285 is 1 point less than 286. This is the only way that our speed can be the highest stat that we have in terms of these ones right here. So this allows us in the sun to get the speed boost with Slither Wing's photosynthesis. Otherwise it would get an attack boost, and the speed boost is pretty helpful because it lets us outrun Dragapult, it can outrun Choice Scarf, Gallade, and things like that. So I do think the speed boost is kind of worth running, especially because we have Bulk Up Morning Sun. Bulk Up will boost our attack and defense, so after a couple Bulk Ups, we'll be really powerful. And Morning Sun is just nice in Sun to be able to heal us 75% of our health while the sun is still active. So this mon here is really cool. Terra Blast Flying, I think Flying Terra type is better here. It's better over Bug Translation because he has like Fire, Dragapult, and things like that. Flying can actually sponge things a bit better versus the majority of his team. Still have to weaken Rotom and... well, I guess Rotom can actually get destroyed by close combat if we get enough setup, but mainly Toxicity. If we weaken Toxicity enough, then we can just destroy the rest of his team with this set here. So I'm expecting good things from Slither Wing, but I'm also really expecting good things from Walking Wake. This Pokemon has literally no switch-ins on his team, bar AV Azu. AV Azumarill, like Assault has to be run on Azumarill, 100%. It has to. Otherwise, Walking Wake will destroy it, and that Assault Azumarill has to be max HP and have some SPDEF in order for it not to get 2-hit KO'd, because Hydro's team, with Modest Nature and Photosynthesis Choice specs, can 2-hit KO just regular max HP AV Azu. I'm pretty sure it can. Like, it can just 2-hit KO that mon, and it's just super, super strong, which I really like a lot. And anyway, so then we have Torkoal, which is there for the sun, the usual, you already know. This Eevee spread actually sponges a Boom Burst from Choice Specs, Toxicity, Modest Nature, so that's kind of nice, especially since if it's like a Toxicity lead with T-Spikes, instead of going Hard Hattery, we can stay in an Earth Power and OHKO it, which is cool, or almost OHKO it maybe, depending on his Eevee spread. Then we have Ting Lu, which I think is super essential for the team because Ting Lu can turn them into Ting Loser by, just having that Rocky Helmet for Chip. It's got Throat Chop, Earthquake, just in case that Dragapult is something that we need to hit with Throat Chop, or if Earthquake is disabled, it is sub-disabled. Ruination can be, it's not a move that knocks out Pokemon. It is good for weakening Pokemon, not for knocking things out. So we have Throat Chop, Earthquake just to have 2 moves for us. This Eevee spread's pretty nice. It can just tank things from everything. Hattering with the eject button I think is super cool. Let's say we lead with Torkoal and they lead Garganachi and they go for the Salt Cure. We can go Hattering, eject out into Walking Wake. And so I do like the eject button. Healing Wish is just an emergency button to click if we need to heal up something in a pinch. And yeah, I like the Giga Drain option for Crocodile and stuff like that. Not just Crocodile, also Azumarill. Garganachi does more stuff, more damage to those kinds of mons. In recovery too. And then finally, Cerulege. I really like Cerulege in this matchup because the combination of like Bitter Blade and Shadow Sneak in close combat hits pretty much everything. Except for, I don't know, actually it kind of hits just everything in general. Maybe except for the Azu, but with Sun, Azu gets weakened. Azu has to run AV, right? So it can sponge hits with Bulk Up and Liquidation stuff, and Bitter Blade heals it up so much. Actually, it does a lot of damage to Azu in the Sun. And if we weaken that, Walking Wake goes in. So I feel like the team kind of just helps each other pretty well. It helps the other teammates out pretty well. You know, we had like the Magic Bounce for the support, the Ting Lu for that nice sturdiness, the Sun core of Torkoal plus Walking Wake and Slither Wing. Slither Wing is a late game mon. Walking Wake is an early game mon, early to mid game mon. And then Cerulege is just there to destroy everybody. So that's going to be the squad. And I think overall, yeah, like I said, I think Dragapult, Azumarill, Rotom Heat, Garg, Crook maybe. And then probably the Toxtricity. No, well, if he could bring both Rotom and Toxtricity. I guess I could see Gallade. Gallade's another option. If not Gallade, then Corviknight. Corviknight I think is definitely there as an option as well, if he runs the right set. But yeah. Before we start the game, definitely make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Would mean a lot as we are on the road to 72, almost 72k I think at this point in time, and then 100k ultimately. So I'll see you all for the battle, and we'll start that right now. Okay, battle time. Week 7, we are here, and I'm very curious to see if our opponent brings what I thought he'd bring, as I predicted in the team builder. We have found him. Let's see what he brings. And, oh, Leafeon, that's interesting. No Rotom Heat, no Toxtricity, no Corviknight. Okay, this is very different from what I expected, but I'm not upset. I kind of like that because I'm pretty sure, well, I didn't even prepare at all for Leafeon, but Leafeon is here. So just to remind myself, it looks like Leafeon does not have knockoff this generation. That's good for our Cerulege. And I also think that Slither Wing puts in so much work in the late game. Slither Wing is going to go in, I feel. Because, yeah, there's no Corviknight or anything. There's no Rotom Heat. There's no Toxtricity. Let's just go ahead and get our Sun up, I think. As a turn 1 lead, I think it's going to be good. Potential leads that he could lead with are potentially the Dragapult. Crocodile is also there as well, if he predicts the Torkoal lead. And maybe Garganachi as well. Garganachi can Salt Cure. Salt Cure is really annoying. I was testing with Joey just a little bit, and yeah, it was like, he played it really well. And I'm hoping, I know for a fact, he's not going to play it as well as Joey did. That was just on a different scale of Garganachi, because Joey's the Garganachi master. He's Italian just like Garganachi. Even has a mustache to go with it. Except he doesn't wear it in front of you guys. Alright. Matt decides to challenge me. This may or may not be his first mistake. Could be mine, but I hope not. It's going to be a Garganachi lead. So actually, I think it is in our best interest to switch here, obviously. For obvious reasons. We're going to go Hattering. If he goes for Salt Cure or whatever, we're going to eject out into Walking Wake. If he goes for Stealth Rocks, that will be his second mistake. First mistake was challenging me. Second mistake. So let's see what happens. Definitely could also see this being like Stone Edge or something too, which would be a little scary if it was, but I think it'll be okay. We have the eject button, so we're going to be able to at least get some momentum here. Rock Slide. Okay, so for the accuracy, I guess. That did a lot more than I expected. That did a lot. For a Rock Slide from this thing, that did a lot. Oh, it's Life Orb. Ah, that's interesting. So, Life Orb Garganachi. So that was... that almost did more than half. Almost. Almost just about. That's like max attack adamant. Yo, that's strong. That mon is crazy. So he's definitely an offensive variant of this set, which is a pretty interesting bring versus Sun. I definitely think that that Mon needs to go, but seeing that it's not as defensive means that we'll be able to handle it pretty well with our close combat Mons. But I'm gonna go Walking Awake here so that we can force this thing out. Or maybe he wants to sack it, who knows? I doubt it though. He has an Azumarill, which I think is always the switch, but we are modest. Choice specs, special attack, photosynthesis. Hydro Steam's gonna do a lot. If that Azu is not max HP, max def, it's going to be a 2-hit KO. So I think here, let's just go ahead and click the Hydro Steam. Yep, so I assume Azu is always the switch here, but let's see what happens. Hydro Steam coming out. That's a 2 KO. That's crazy damage. Yo, let's go. Okay, so yeah, this Mon is definitely Emvee Azumarill, and that's why it was able to actually tank it better than it would have if it wasn't. It would have just gotten destroyed if it didn't have the AV. But even now, it is getting destroyed. This is a 2-hit KO easy. Ah, nice. Very nice. Azumarill is doomed. Call it a Doomarill. You like that one? Ah, okay. That's amazing. You always love to see Walking Awake take out a Pokemon like that in just 2 hits, easily. So now I assume Dragapult has to come in, right? Nothing else can really afford to switch in right now other than Dragapult, so it has to be Dragapult that comes in here, I assume. And who is that? Yep, Dragapult. So we are definitely going to go Ting-Lu. Ooh, the double. The double is here. Into what though? Leafeon. Okay, that's a pretty good double. That is a pretty fair play right there. You Ting loser. I love that nickname. Okay. So Leafeon does not get knockoff. Unless it's just going to immediately Power Herb Dig. I feel like it's just safe to go into Ceruledge here. Because Leafeon shouldn't have anything for this Mon. But like I said, I feel like Dig is an option because it also hits the Magnezone. If I had brought Magnezone. But yeah, I think I'm looking through its moves. I don't see any other move that, you know, it could hit us with. So I think Ceruledge is safe. Ceruledge is definitely safe here. Let's just go into it and see what happens. Pray this Leafeon is not as much of a threat as I'm thinking. It's not a threat, so let's see. Aerial Ace. Did a decent amount. Oh, that was a crit. Okay, so critical hit Aerial Ace did that much. That Pokemon is weak, so let's just go ahead and... Okay, here's the thing what I could do, right? I'm thinking I could either double here into Walking Wake, predicting his switch out into Garganacci, or I could actually stay in and fire off a close combat. Make an aggressive switch. I only have like very few turns of Sun left, so I feel like maybe it's just worth staying in and clicking close combat because we'll be able to hit like the Garg if it comes in, which he does switch out into probably, right? No, that's the Crocodile. Okay, so this is actually pretty good too. We're getting damage on this Mon, which I'm fine with as well. And in case it was Scarf, this is pretty good for us. So we got damage on this. Okay, it's not Scarf. What is this? Toxic Orb? Is he fling Toxic Orb? Is he fling Toxic Orb? Okay. In that case, I still should always go Hatterene just because in case this thing has rocks, I don't want him to set up rocks. Garg obviously probably doesn't have rocks because it's offensive Life Orb. Well, unless it's offensive Life Orb with rocks. So I'm going to go Hatterene anyways just because I can ensure that there are no hazards set on my side for the entirety of the game. If he wants to knock me out, he can. I have Walking Wake that I can go into after to get a big hit off on something. Fling, yep, as I expected. It's going to be Fling plus Toxic Orb. That does nothing, and I do get poisoned, but I don't mind this thing getting poisoned, really. I don't mind that at all. He's also taking poison damage as well. So here is where I feel like Hatterene being sacked is okay, because I don't really need. I could like, go for a Giga Drain. I don't really need to keep Hatterene around anymore. I feel like he can't get up any hazards. I could switch, but I have one turn of Sun left, and I don't feel like switching out and then having to switch back in Torkoal and stuff later, or add an extra turn or something. So I'm just gonna Giga Drain here. Bulldoze, Fling Bulldoze. That didn't even knock me out. And I get some HP back. Fling Bulldoze Crocodile. Is there some Chinese technology I don't know about? Like, I've not seen this before. I don't even think the Chinese would come up with that, but you know, that's pretty heat. That's pretty heat. I'll give him that. I like that. Fling Bulldoze Crocodile. That doesn't get acrobatics, does it? Because if it does, that'd be kind of cool. If he could like fling and then have a super powerful acrobatics for Slither Wing, but I don't think it learns acrobatics. That's interesting though. Yeah, I think we can actually save Hatterene now and just go Ting Lu. We can save it as a sack. It'll be a sack later on now. Don't have to sack it to this thing. Ting Lu's at full health, so I am not too worried right now. We're in a really good spot. I mean, we knocked out Crocodile, we knocked out Azumarill. And we have a lot of information on the sets. So he's terrestrializing here. I assume it's fire, right? Yeah, fire. So fire makes the most sense versus my team because I am sun. Ghost is pretty good too, but I feel like fire achieves a lot more. Terra Blast, okay, cool. And let's see how much it does to Ting Lu. Not too much. It's not too bad. And he's Life Orb on this too. Okay, so he's Life Orb Garganacci, Life Orb on Dragapult. Okay. Now, I kind of... Okay, so... He's definitely not staying in here, or he might, to try to get an attack off or something. But I feel like if he wants to go Leafeon, which is the only ground resistance he has, I could also probably go for a Throat Chop on this turn. I do at some point want to get up rocks, but I feel like maybe now is not the time. Or now could be the time, but I'm kind of leaning towards Throat Chop. So I'm going to go for that. I feel like it's not a bad play. I mean, all around getting some damage on something is pretty good. And he doesn't really have any resistances to this move, I think. So, Throat Chop here. Leafeon can take a little bit of chip. That's nice. And now I will be switching out here into Torkoal to get my sun up. So this will allow me to reset my sun. So the Leafeon is Aerial Ace. I don't know what else it has, but I assume maybe like the grass move, Leaf Blade or something like that. Or Solar Blade if he was really preparing for the sun. If he still gets that, I think he does. Sunlight turn Harsh. Mudshot. That did nothing to my Torkoal. Does that even 2-hit KO Magnezone? I don't even think that 2-hit KOs Magnezone. Pretty sure it doesn't. I was thinking of bringing Magnezone, but I didn't. I'm pretty sure Mudshot would not have even 2-hit KO'd the Magnezone. That's crazy. Mudshot Leafeon. By the way, did you know Mudshot is his special attack? And Leafeon's base special attack is like 60 or 65 or something like that? Or something bad? He makes a good double here though. Or a good switch, I should say. And yeah, interesting. So I went walking away thinking that he'd switch into Garg, but he didn't. I thought that'd be a fire double, but didn't work out. I was too mesmerized by the Mudshot. Now I will sack Hatterene and then go back into Ting Lu. Mudshot Leafeon. I mean, it's heat. It's pretty cool. I'll give it that. But it's not great, or it's not. I don't even think it's good. I feel like Power Herb Dig would have been better with Swords Dance. I think it would have been way more threatening. But yeah, he can go for the Terra Blast here. He's also taking Life Orb Chip, which is kind of nice. And I feel like if we go Ting Lu, it'll force him out once again. And that's when I think we will get up our rocks. So yeah, let's go ahead here into Ting Lu. Okay. Rocks time. Oh, he stays in. Oh, if I Earthquake there, this would have been dead and I would have just straight up just immediately won the game. But it seems like we're out of range of another Terra Blast, so I think we're okay. These rocks are going to be really great though. These rocks will be fire. Let's go ahead and Quake here. So yeah, if this switches out now, then pretty much when it comes back in, it'll take 25. It's gonna be in range soon of a Shadow Sneak and also our Terror Blast. Oh, he's Fire Blast. Wait, Terror Blast, Fire, and Fire Blast. That actually knocks me out here. Wow, okay, pretty cool. That is interesting. So he's like a mixed set. Oh, he's like mixed. Okay. Terror Blast, Fire Blast. That's cool. But I know for a fact that, yeah, it looks like Torkoal can live this kind of variation of Dragapult. So this is great because we have a lot of Spidef EVs invested into us. In fact, I EV this, like I said in the team builder, I EV this Torkoal to withstand a Boom Burst from Choice Specs, Toxtricity, Modest Nature. So this mon here will be able to live physical hits, special hits, anything at least once from this Dragapult. So Earth powers the play. It'll knock out this mon from the range it's at, plus Life Orb, so we're in a good spot. And if he switches out, that's not good for him. So yeah, we should also take a Draco Meteor from this set too. Should he have it? But if Leafeon comes back, it's gonna not do much with Mudshot. Oh, he switches out here. Okay, into what? Into Garganagi. Okay. This mon will take a chunk. Decent damage, not bad. So he definitely has some HP investment in that thing. I have one turn of Sun left, so I will be switching out here into probably... So I know for a fact that my Walking Wake can take a hit easily from full, so I'm going to go into this mon, I think is the play, because I don't want to go into Cerulege, I need that for Shadow Sneak, and I don't want to go into Slither Wing because I need that for speed. I'm going to be able to reset the Sun turn soon anyways, so the end game is looking pretty good for us. I'm just trying to play it a little bit safer, just to ensure that we get the win. So Rock Slide here, that does how much? About half. Sunlight faded, that's fine. Photosynthesis wore off, and now we get to... I think we can actually lock ourselves into Dragon Pulse here, because Hydro Steam's not even worth it. Dragon Pulse should knock out everything from this range. Switches out here, okay, cool. Goes into who? Is that the Leafeon? Okay, cool. So this will get knocked out from this range, or if not, it'll be a 2 KO, and we're faster, I think. Yeah, gone. Nice. Very nice. So that is excellent. Dragapult's back. So this mon is, I think after Life Orb and stuff like that, I don't think he's Dragon Dance. He wouldn't be, unless he's like a mixed Life Orb Dragon Dance set. But even then, at +1, I don't get knocked out at +1. And he puts himself in range of Shadow Sneak after 2 rounds of Life Orb. Maybe even 1, because this set is not, doesn't have bulk. I remember when I was playing or doing testing with Joey, he ran like 252 HP Dragapult, so it had like bulk and stuff like that, so it wasn't doing as much, but yeah, this definitely will be in range of Shadow Sneak soon enough, and he can't switch out because of rocks. So he Dragon Darts here. Okay. Yep, and then we can just We have enough sun turns. I can actually just go into, I can just Lava Plume here. I think Lava Plume will knock this out from this range. Fire Blast. The inaccurate move. Pretty sure I would have lived that too, because I have Spadef. Dragon Darts would have. Dragon Darts was doing more probably. But nice, we knocked it out. That's great. Still don't know why that move was clicked, but that's fine. And so this is fine because literally we have our Slither Wing and our Shadow Sneak from Cerulege to clean it up. Plus we have a nice, we're faster. We burn it immediately. Oh, tell me he did not bring Trick Room to the Trick House. That's why the negative priority, right? Ah, no. First mistake, or second, no, first mistake was Shadow Tree. Second mistake was, I forgot what the second mistake was, but this mistake right here. Bringing Trick Room to the Trick House. No, we don't do that. That has not happened to me in like the last 4 to 5 years of Draft League. Nobody's dared bring Trick Room versus me. And actually Torkoal, it's under speed, so it outruns in Trick Room this Gallade. So we had 2 chances to burn there. And it's also in, oh, Eject Pack Close Combat, that's heat. That is pretty heat though. Okay, I must admit that set is heat, but to bring Trick Room versus me is signing your own death wish. That is what it is. But this is cool. So, yeah, Gallade would be in Shadow Sneak range anyways, even without the burn. And if it indeed knocked us out, then, yeah, and also this thing is pretty much, it's almost dead too. It has Life Orb, right? So it's gonna die to itself pretty much. They're gonna Earthquake here, that's fine. We just have more sacks. He only has Gargan and Gallade, right? So, yeah, it's gonna get, yeah, we win this game 100% guaranteed. I'm gonna go into, I think we can go into Slither Wing. I haven't brought it out yet. Might as well. I'm definitely not gonna Terra though because he has Rock Slide. I feel like the play here would be to go for the Morning Sun just to stall out the Trick Room turns. Yeah, we got the speed boost here. So just to kind of confirm how many turns we have to play, Trick Room is 2 more turns left. So if we Morning Sun here, that's probably the best play to go for. And he'll knock himself out with Life Orb, but we just Shadow Sneak in the end to win. So, yeah, there's no way we can lose this game. Explosion! Ooh! Okay. That actually Okos me. Wow. I like this. Okay, so, I mean, this is pretty neat. This is pretty neat. Okay, so that Garg is crazy. That Garg exploded. I've not seen an explosion Garganachi before. That's just crazy. But now he just went a Shadow Sneak, so that's gonna be GG. It's Emvee. Should be over here, I think. And that's that. Good game, good game. Good game to my opponent. Some really interesting sets. I'll be honest, I didn't really expect the majority of these sets to come. I knew Aviazu had to. Dragapult, I did not expect the combination of moves it had. Leafeon, I definitely did not expect for Aerial Ace. Well, Aerial Ace kind of makes sense, but Mudshot is very interesting. The Gallade, bringing Trick Room to the Trick House? Like, okay, I can admit that Gallade set was really cool. With the Trick Room and Eject Pack out and stuff like that was really fun. But, yeah, to bring Trick Room versus me, that in itself is a GG. It's Emvee right there. Like, you know me and you know how I can outplay Trick Room. It's not a favorable match if you bring that versus me, because I don't know why. For some reason, I'm just so good at outplaying Trick Room. But yeah, overall, fun game. I enjoyed it, and I hope you all did as well. This puts us at 5-2, which, I mean, we are, I think, already 100% guaranteed for playoffs as it is. So yeah, overall, you know what's really cool though? We started 0-2, now we're 5-2. We won 5 games in a row, which I think was the longest, or is the longest win streak that's happened in this season. So at least we broke that record for this one. But yeah, nice. Look forward to hearing from you all in the comments, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.